Hi, my name is Jan and welcome to my YouTube channel. What you just saw were Swedish leftists having solidarity protests for BLM. These cops were called in to break up the protests, which are illegal due to corruption. But instead of doing so, this 23-year-old newly graduated female cop decides to join in, and she not only listens to the crowds and bends the knee, she also goes as far as to hold up a sign that says white silence is violence, and then she chants along with the protesters when they yell out pig, obviously referring to her colleagues. She was put in a very stressful situation, as we can see, but her actions are unforgivable, disgraceful, disrespectful, and downright embarrassing. She is quite literally bending the knee to the rioters who she was supposed to stop. She is taking a political stance and making a fool of herself and the uniform. The police have come out with their bland statements regarding the situation. They say, many reactions have also come in questioning if a police really should bend the knee before violent protesters. In general terms, we stand behind human rights and equality. At the same time, we have to act impartial at public gatherings. Nima Darvish, a citizen with a lot to say, writes, "People break the law. A law that additionally isn't any random idiot law, but one with the set purpose of saving lives. What does the police do? They join in. They bend the knee before those who were pointing you just a minute ago, holding up a sign that says white silence is violence, have a crying and hugging party. Never mind the maximum 50 people rule. Never mind the 2 meter distance rule. All of a sudden, Corona doesn't transfer. And what did the youths learn today? You don't have to respect the state, the rules, or the police. You don't have to respect adults. You don't have to behave civilized. You can insult, you get rewarded, hugged even. Do you understand how majorly f***ed this country's future is?" This is not de-escalating a potentially messy situation, to quote Jonas Andersson for the Swedish Democrats. These protests are not about showing solidarity to what's happening in America. And I quote, "Who will the police bend their back for next? Islamists? Criminal gangs? Clans in the suburbs?" My guess is that in the BLM protest, you could find lots of known leftist extremists that have found a new flag to fight under. The whole protest was purely provocation and a display of power. Provoke, wait for a reaction, record it, and take on the role of the victim. The situation in Sweden has nothing to do with that in the US. Swedish police and American police are fundamentally different, obviously for better and worse. Tell me how, where, and when Swedish police shoot to death, abuse, and discriminate on the basis of skin color. I understand, and I can clearly see that the situation was stressful, but the response was so outrageous that it cannot be defended. It should not even be on the map to do what she did. Hanif Bali brings up a point in the latest episode of his podcast God Ton that this sets up an incredibly odd precedent. If there is a riot started by the white nationalists, is it now the right response for the police to go there, take a knee, and hug and understand them? Because the presumable resolution could be that the supremacists now feel seen and understood and would go home. The situation would then, in principle, be resolved, but would it be good? And in another example, what if a stressful situation occurs where young criminals are throwing rocks at a cop car? Could a reasonable reaction and action by the police be to join in? This might get the kids to feel connected to the cops, feel understood, seen, and maybe be calm enough to go home. To absolutely nobody's surprise, the cop graduated from the highly controversial police course at Södertörn, where the focus is on questions regarding gender, class, and ethnicity. A police course that's core focus is grievance studies. This is a quote, "Students get to learn practical police work, but also social studies about gender, migration, and diversity." Wow, I feel so safe with cops like that out there to protect me. My very reactionary take on this would be that I don't want females in the police force, but I know that there are very capable women out there who are very fit for the job. This cute little blonde thing just was not one of those. We don't have a racism problem here in Sweden. We don't have a recent history of slavery like in America or in the Middle East. We don't discriminate based on skin color. We have laws against that sort of behavior. There are a lot of programs in place to help minorities with things like jobs and welfare. Free programs to learn the language, and we talk about the supposed oppression in every other news story. I think what is happening right now is dangerous. It puts skin color at the front of our heads, and the knee-jerk reaction is going to be to point at the white murder victims and rape victims of Sweden. Why are there no protests for them against the Swedish government, who have been so irresponsible and have led to innocent Swedish lives being lost? The result of constantly telling Swedish and Western people that they are racist, all while emptying their pockets and destroying their communities, is that everyone is going to become more resentful and focus more and more on their own ethnic identity. Is that what the leftists really want? For white people to take back their pride in their identity in being Swedish, in being Norwegian, in being Italian, English, and so forth? Because that's what's going to happen. Great Britain opened their border. Sweden did too. What we have gotten in return is ungratefulness and chaos. They want more, and we still bite our tongue. So I don't really know how to end this video, other than to say that what is happening is completely insane. The riots have now moved on to Gothenburg. They happened yesterday. I'll see if I'm going to make a video on the more broad subject. I'm going to make a video on the riots that have been here. This video is specifically about the female and her bending the knee. So thank you so much for watching. And thank you to all of my Patreons, and thank you to everyone who comments on these videos, who likes my videos, who's subscribing. It really, really helps out a lot. And I'm so fortunate to have this channel and be able to talk about everything on here. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! A big thank you to Yap, T. Smith, Mark Schwartzberg, John Patrick, Michael Edelius, Craig Nickerson, Jim Hicks, Daniel Yu, Graham P. Mills, Andreas Springare, Jocke Hellgren, Captain Erik Larsson, Helmut Biel, Robert T. O'Gara, Chuck Schaefer, Aiden Finn, Oskar Sandström, Sonja Alriksson, Crowley357, Brennan Bauer, Tobias Schumacher, Ivan Akarius, Gabriel Tieka, ASDF, Are Hågensson, Vyacheslav, Eric Bishop, Tim Bennett, Tony Patak, Liam McCarthy, Patriarken, Benjamin Dolby, Kasper Öberg, and Proud Boy. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!